Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at a full trophy guide and roadmap for Crash Bandicoot. This is the first game in the Crash Bandicoot N. Sane trilogy. It's included in the PlayStation Plus Games Collection coming on the PlayStation 5 in November 2020. This is easily the hardest Crash Bandicoot game in the trilogy, not including Crash 4, which is just a complete different level. We're going to be looking at all the trophies and we're going to be going through what's required for the Platinum Trophy in this game. It'll be spoiler free, I guess. I always say that. I don't think you really need to have a spoiler free guide for Crash Bandicoot. There's not really too much of a spoiler here, but it will still be spoiler free, and we'll be taking you through exactly what's required to platinum this game. Let's have a look. Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're a new viewer of the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below. I make new videos like this every single day on the channel, looking at the latest trophies and PlayStation news. Today we're taking a look at Crash Bandicoot. This is the first game in the Crash Bandicoot trilogy of games, and this is the hardest one by far. This game is about a 7 out of 10 in terms of platinum difficulty. It's a really tough one. Now, there's a couple of reasons for it. Not only is the level design just intricate and complicated and does require quite a lot of skill. I should mention, it's a skill-based platinum. It's not a luck-based platinum or a time-consuming one. It's pure skill. Crash is always a skill-based platinum. This one here requires precision when you're figuring out how he moves, jumps. You also don't have any of those quality of life improvements that Crash developed over time, 2, 3, and 4, in terms of his skid ability or his dash ability, things like that. Stuff that made the game easier or more fun aren't included in this one. They stayed very true to the original when they remastered it, which was, I think, a good thing, but it does make it more challenging than it probably needs to be. It's going to take you about 30 hours to platinum this game, very much dependent on skill and how good you are at platformers to begin with. There are no online trophies, no missable trophies, no difficulty trophies, except if the game is difficult. It's going to require multiple playthroughs of levels. It just is. There is chapter select in the sense that you can go and replay any level you want, hence why nothing's missable, and there are no additional trophy stacks for this game. In terms of a trophy breakdown, we have 23 total trophies in this. They did add 2 additional trophies to this for DLC, but we won't talk about those today. This includes 6 story-related trophies, non-missable. These are for defeating each of the different bosses in the game. 3 gem-related trophies for collecting the various gems in the game. 3 trophies for finishing the time trials, the relics. 2 trophies associated with unlocking keys or key levels, and 8 misc trophies in the game, which are for doing different deaths and just different things that you have to do as Crash. Steps to platinum. These are, it's not a very complicated one. It's really just play the game and then replay the levels to get the gems. That's the general crux of it all, but it's play through the entire game. Don't worry about missing anything. If you do want to speed up your playthroughs, you can aim to collect all the boxes on levels as you go through on that first playthrough, because this will unlock gems for you as you go and it will ultimately just speed the entire process up. If you decide not to do that during step 2, this is when you're going to be collecting all 26 of the gems and the two key gems. Unlock gems for either collecting all the boxes on a particular level or for not dying on particular levels. They call these death routes later in the franchise. This would also be a good place to clean up the specific death-based trophies or getting 99 lives trophies during this misc step as well. This part here is, up until this point, it is quite challenging because not all the gems are super easy to get, especially some of the ones where you can't die on particular levels. The way this works really is that some levels are going to be very easy and some levels are just going to be nightmare fuel, so keep that in mind when you're playing through it. I would suggest as you're doing this, if you're playing a level that's just too difficult for you, leave it and just come back to it later. That's what I would find. I just park it. If you're starting to get frustrated with it, I would put it down and then just give yourself an hour or 2 and then come back to it. Often that's enough time for you to kind of refresh and then you get better at it for some reason. Because it is a skill-based platinum, a lot of what you're going to be doing is muscle memory inputs and timing, essentially. So if you're tired or anything like that, it is definitely going to impact your playstyle. The final step is relics. At this stage, you should be familiar with levels, making time trials easier, but in this game, there is no crash dash ability like there is in the latter games, which make time trials easier, I would say. This game here relies purely on skill for time trials, so while the times are slightly more lenient in terms of how quickly you can get through a level because there's no dash ability, it's still very challenging and is going to require a significant amount of skill and knowledge of the levels, as well as how Crash navigates himself to complete these relics or gold time or more. This here's the hardest part of the game by far. There are some of these that are just brutally hard, especially because you feel like you're moving so slow when you're trying to rush through things. My suggestion here is just to avoid as much enemies as possible, avoid any of the obstacles that you can avoid, and just keep pushing forwards. There are some of these levels, like I said before, that are going to just be so hard for you, and my suggestion is just to learn those levels inside and out. Keep replaying them and learn them. If you're getting too tired, take a break, come back, and keep practicing the levels. Practice literally makes perfect in this game, and that's really all the tips I can give you. Because it is a skill-based platinum, there's no tips, tricks, or guides or anything like that that are going to help you out. But if you do want to, you can look up some videos of people finishing the time trials online. That helped me a lot when I was going for some of these, because I could see exactly where they shaved off particular seconds of particular movements or cutting a corner or something like that, which definitely helps you when you're trying to cut off like a millisecond or a second of time off your time trial. Hopefully this guide was helpful. There are no notable trophies in this game because they're all pretty straightforward, so I decided not to include that here. But let me know what you guys thought of this. If you have any additional tips or tricks for Crash, let me know in the comment section below. If you've already got the Crash Bandicoot Platinum, I'd love to hear from you as well, because you're one of the crazy people who decided to stick with this one. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and hopefully you're enjoying the rest of this 22 game video series that I'm doing at the moment. Be curious to get your thoughts in the comment section on what do you think of that. I'm dying from it, but hey, that's just me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate your time, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye for now.